everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. How about a free record player? Do you want to find out how to win a free record player? We're giving away free record players, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. Stay tuned a little bit later in the video to find out. So today we're taking another look at a product by Audio-Keeper, which is a company I didn't know existed, a few months ago. That being said, they've produced some interesting and intriguing things, not least of which was that clear acrylic turntable. This is a different product, but it might be a good beginner turntable for folks that just kind of want a plain Jane, not necessarily fully featured. Well, it has some features. It's got Bluetooth out, which is a feature, but it's a solid looking 2-speed turntable. I want to see if it really fits the bill. Anyway, you're not going to want to miss this. Okay, so here it is. This is the Audio-Keeper LP9. Did not know these guys existed like 2 months ago, and all of a sudden they've got all these products, and I'm here for it, as I hope you are as well. Now, this is the same company that did the clear record player a couple of months ago that we reviewed. So I'm hoping that this performs even better and, seems to be of high quality. So without further ado, let's tear it open. Did a little video for the members. By the way, members, thank you for your support recently. And I talked about how the audio on my videos has been a little bit hot, specifically the vocal recording on the mic here. So I made an adjustment. Hopefully it's noticeably better, the audio. So, all right. Wow. Okay. So hard to do this in a confined space with a camera and knocking over stuff. Let's see what this stuff is. I'm guessing it has to do with the turntable. Alright, I'm guessing this is a platter. Yep. Alright. Right off the bat, it feels like so many others of this type. Yeah, so we got a die-cast aluminum, powder-coated, or at least painted black. I think that's a paint, not a powder coat, but still looks good. Got the ribbon, the belt on the sub platter. Liking it. We've got a felt platter mat. Pretty decent one. It's got a little bit of fluff to it. And that's it for that box. Right, take off these foam ones. So yeah, they've got some interesting sort of zany colors. They have like primary colors for this model of turntable. I picked the yellow. There was also like a red and a blue, I believe. I just don't review many, yellow turntables. So I thought it would be a good color to pick. And here is the dust cover. Got a cling wrap on it. Probably a clear polycarbonate. We got little rubber stops there. Audio-Keeper branding right there. And before we open the turntable, let's look at our accessories. So we've got 45 adapter. By the way, the Record-ology exclusive 45 adapter. The new color green has just come out. So order those if you're interested. Links all over the place. But we've got RCA cables, a grounding wire, and what looks like a pretty basic user manual. Power supply. Wow. Striking color. I like it. I do like the color. And yes, I love the aesthetic stuff. You know what I mean? And I know it's superficial and it doesn't matter when it comes to listening to your records in terms of the sound quality. Yet it kind of does, because part of enjoying records is the tactile, physical, in the moment interaction with everything from the equipment to the record itself. And, the style, the design, all these things that, streaming can never compete with. Alrighty. So it's got a decent weight to it. And the material, interesting. I thought this was just going to be painted wood. And I don't know if I can get this to come across on camera, but it's like a laminate, like a plastic laminate with a texture. So it's a textured laminate over either an MDF or some sort of board material. And let's see. So the main bearing seems good. There's the motor mount, is again belt driven. This inset piece is plastic. It does feature a carbon fiber Tonearm. We'll look at all this stuff up close as well. Flipping it upside down. This is a long shot, isn't it? This is a good angle, so I'm like, I can get a lot out of this angle. We'll just do it all in one shot. So again, the black version of that laminate there, plastic box. Usually when you see these plastic boxes like this, kind of attached to the bottom, it means that the plinth itself is solid, or nearly so. We've got pivoting plastic feet with foam pads in the corners here, and then little rubber feet that are stationary back there. And this is good to see. A speed trim pot adjustment. All right, I got there eventually. Trim pots for the speed adjustment. And looking on the back panel now, what do we got back here? So we've got our preamp switch, our power supply, really nice terminals for the audio out, grounding post, Bluetooth connection. So apparently this can stream Bluetooth, and a Bluetooth on and off switch. That's about it. All right, that does a trick. Oh yeah, and I guess the clips. Standard issue. I've seen this model of a hinge before. Okay, let's take a look at the controls and the arm and the gimbal and all that good stuff. So this appears to be a carbon fiber tone arm. The head shell, unfortunately, is just a cheap plastic one. It is fixed. The angle is fixed. It does allow, screws. These are Allen screws, so you can replace the 3600L cartridge that it comes stock with. But there's no adjustment in terms of left and right, so you would have to make those replacements with a fixed angle there, which would probably be fine. But I would have liked to see a standard, removable head shell type. Let's check out the gimbal. Good gimbal. I've seen this one before. Again, I'm not sure where. Maybe on the other, the clear turntable perhaps. But that is good. Is that plastic? I think that might be a plastic sleeve. The cup is surely plastic. I need to set the tracking force here. It does have anti-skate. It's got a cueing lever with a rubber lift shelf. Interesting placement on the clip. The clip is way back here. Usually it's over here. It does make it a little bit cleaner over here looking. Really happy to see a pitch control right on the top there. This feels like kind of grungy, like it's rubbing on the plinth. Like it feels not direct. It doesn't feel like there's any intentional drag. That it feels like it's almost screwed in tight or something, and it's just like scraping on this, but at least it's there. This one has some sticky gunk on it, easily removable, I'm sure, with some alcohol or something, but whoever picked this off the line was grabbed a sticky one. 45 and 33 and off, and obviously a Bluetooth functionality as well, controlled by the back. So that's a speed/power switch. These counterbalances come with a little screw in the side that you can see right there. And this one is, you can see it's recessed, so that means that they've actually screwed it in. So this is factory set counterbalance, which is odd. My question is, do they set it to a good value? The 3600 has a range like 2.5 to 4 grams. So no problem. We'll just get our trusty gauge out, but we can't do that until we get the platter on. So that necessitates this step being next. Sometimes on these videos, you guys will notice that I'll spend a little bit extra attention with a certain thing, whether it be the counterbalance or how the belt goes on. There's always sort of this instructional element, although I try to minimize that because this is a review, not an instructional video. And let's see, the belt is on, belt is resting flat. Give it a couple of turns and make sure it's sitting on the pulley the way it should. And now that we have a platform with which to measure the tracking force. All right, let me zero this out, making sure that the lift shelf is in the lowest position possible. And let's see what kind of tracking force we have on this thing. Okay, so just under 3 grams, 2.8. That's definitely on the low side, but that's acceptable. We shouldn't have any skipping, no damage or anything. So it's a nice light tracker. It won't do any damage to your records, and that's good. And it is adjustable. You would just have to undo that little screw and make the adjustment, but that will work. I have to say, it does look snazzy. You got the dust cover on now. This is a very pretty turntable. So if this aesthetic was, going to match your setup, And this might be the one for you. Obviously, this is firmly in the beginner category. And I want to stress that when I say beginner, I'm not disparaging to beginner equipment. There is such thing as high quality beginner equipment. There's nothing wrong with it. It just is more affordable. Perhaps it's lacking features, not this specific one, but just the category of a beginner turntable. And maybe there are compromises in design and quality. It just depends. So how each company and each product balances cost and feature and quality and the output of that product is what makes this interesting. Because, like, you know, there are different ways to make that happen. So we firmly are in the camp of beginner equipment on this channel. And there are some that are more beginner than others. We do quite a bit of intermediate stuff, in my opinion. But this is beginner, but it may be a good beginner turntable. Cost-wise, $300. Now, you may be saying that's a bit high. However, if it performs well and it balances those things like we were just talking about, well, you know, it could be worth it. I think they're running like a $40 off deal right now on their website, but this is $299. All right, let's go ahead and test the speed, accuracy. Now we can make the adjustment with the knob. Sometimes I don't even do this if it has a pitch adjust, but I figured we'd take a look anyway. And of course, this is a strobe warning. I'm going to switch it to 33 RPM. And as soon as I move the tone arm over, it does start spinning. And then let's see if I go to the middle, does it have an auto stop? Sometimes the auto stops are delayed. So I'm going to put the lift shelf up and let this rest in the innermost position here for a second and see if it does indeed have an auto stop. All right, it's been spinning for a good 30 to 40 seconds and I do not see it stopping. So I'm going to say this does not. So it has an auto start capability, but it is nearly a fully manual turntable. Okay, change the lights for the strobe test now. I'm going to spin it up. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Just didn't have the tone arm over the edge of the record there. So we're going to be looking at the bottom band for 33 and the middle band for 45. With the pitch knob, I can adjust this. You can see it's marching a little bit to the right, which means it's a hair slow. So I am going to adjust the knob. That's the detent position on the pitch knob. So it's still a little bit slow. And then just a hair, oops, you got to find the sweet spot there. Yeah, just nearly past the detent position. There you go. There's always going to be a little cogging effect. All right, I'm going to back this. Now it's a little bit too fast. Now the belt's going to stretch over time. Everything's got to settle in. So you may need to adjust this a couple of times. But that's pretty dang close. All right. And then I'm going to go to 45 now, the middle band. This should follow suit. Yeah. So we set the other one. This is pretty dead accurate as well. So that's good. So speed, not a problem. I love the fact there's a pitch adjust right on the plinth. For your listening enjoyment today, I present Vinyl Moon number 84. I think this is 84. Anyhow, we are going to start by testing out, that's a lot of color, isn't it? We're going to start by testing out the Bluetooth out functionality. So I've got a nondescript, high quality Bluetooth speaker right there. Powering up the Bluetooth speaker here. We'll see how long it takes to connect. Connected to something immediately, and that would be my phone. So let me unpair my phone and connect it to the turntable instead. Oh, never mind. It connected. Or connected. Right when we're in the middle of this, I thought it would be a really good time to tell you that we're giving away a bunch of turntables and other cool things this month because we're doing Vlogmas right now. If you haven't noticed, already posted our first Vlogmas episode. We're doing one a day all the way through to Christmas Eve. And there's also bonus footage over on my wife's channel, which is at Rain's Place, link down below. And if you go over there, you'll see bonus content. So both channels are going to have Christmas content. In addition to like going to cool places, showing cool things, we are going to be doing some giveaways. So plug into that world if you want to find that out. They are stacking up from being reviewed, and it's time to give some away. So be on the lookout for that. Let's go ahead and test this. Mostly I just want to test the connectivity process more than the sound quality. But this will be our first chance to give this a listen. So lowering the tone arm, very gentle descend. All right, let's skip through the record here. There's always a delay when you're connected to Bluetooth just has an inherent delay. So when you drop the needle, it's like a half a second until you hear the sound. And there is a little bit of a kind of a high-pitched whine coming from that Bluetooth speaker, but that's just the speaker. It's not this. But to triple check, I'm going to connect the turntable to a different Bluetooth speaker, and that will be this little guy right here, the M90 Mini. Not JVC brand, but actually built by a modern company replicating things. In fact, they're called Replitronics. So this is a very cool unit. Let me turn off this Bluetooth speaker first. And with this thing back in pairing mode, I can turn this on. First thing that the M90 does when you turn it on is search for a Bluetooth connection, which I've deactivated from my phone so it doesn't automatically connect to that. So let's see how long this connection takes. Searching. The other one connected within like 5 seconds. Okay, 7 seconds. Yeah, pretty dang close. Let's listen to see if there's any hiss or whining sound. This one's quieter. So yeah, I think that I think what we were hearing was the speaker itself. This one seems to be a cleaner connection. Okay, there's nothing left to do except for a direct feed sound test. Okay, so it sounds good, which is the most important thing. There's not really any huge red flags. I do feel that there are some compromises in terms of quality here and there. Nothing that I wouldn't really expect for a turntable in the $100 to $150 range. However, this is a $300 turntable, so I feel that from a price standpoint, it may be a bit high for what it is. So unless you really, really need a yellow, blue, or red turntable, and this fits the bill. That being said, there was some nice features. I like the carbon fiber tone arm. I love the pitch control. I thought that was great. The cueing lever was a little fiddly the way that worked. It was kind of strange. A couple of times I noticed I had to kind of push down on the lift shelf in order to get that tone arm to lower all the way. Some of these issues may really sort of correct themselves after some use. They do not recommend fully testing audio equipment straight out of the package like that, but that's sort of what this show necessitates us doing. So, the best way would be to do another show down the road, which is why sometimes we'll do like a 1 year later review. So be on the lookout. This may show up. We've done a number of those 1 year later reviews, which can be a little bit more telling as to what the real experience will be. Especially for speakers, because those definitely need some time to kind of bake in, as it were. So yeah, I think the price is a bit high. I think it's adequate quality. There's some compromises here and there. I like the carbon fiber tone arm. I love the pitch control. And I think it's cool that you can get some unusual colors. So let me know down in the comments below what you think. Again, like I said a couple of times already, we're giving away turntables and other things. It's all about Vlogmas. So go over, check out our Vlogmas episodes. We may do clues. We may do little trivia things. So you'll be wanting to watch all that content, not just here on Record-ology, but over on my wife's channel, Rain's Place. Link down below to check all of that out. Don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to maybe win a turntable. So we've got a lot of turntables we've reviewed throughout the year, and I don't have room for all of them. So I got to give some away. I can't wait to do that. It's so much fun. But anyway, my friends, that's going to do it for today. So happy record hunting, and we'll see you next time.